everyone. Today is wow, I just pulled my shirt halfway down. I haven't done something like this in a long time. I think it's been well over a year since I've done a Q&A, just a simple Q&A. I know there's new people on here. I know there's a lot of old people that have been here for a while. So I just thought I'd kind of like reintroduce myself, maybe go through some questions you guys have about me, about what I do, about the channel, about anything basically. I gave you full reign. You could do absolutely anything. If you don't follow me on Instagram, then unfortunately you couldn't participate in this. So stop what you're doing, just pause this video. It's not going anywhere. Hop onto your phone, grab Instagram and follow me, because then we can discuss things like this and you could leave me comments and we can talk. I love you guys. It's one of my favorite things to do. Also, side note, I have a podcast. You should listen to it. It's a good time. We have a lot of fun over there where we also talk to you guys. You guys send in your life stories that you want advice on, and me and my best friend give you our unprofessional advice on the situation that you are in. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but it's always a good time. Okay, I'm not really going to dilly-dally anymore. We're just gonna hop right into the Q&A. There's a lot, so I'm just gonna like scroll through and answer. I haven't looked at any of these. This is gonna be very like raw, off the cuff. First question. First place you want to travel to once Corona's over? Legitimately, any island. Just a beautiful island. Preferably like a tropical Hawaii. I know it's a common place to go when you live in LA, but it's also just magical. So the person I just said actually gave a second question that I think is really good, so I'm just gonna go with it. We're gonna give her 2 questions. What's the one thing you learned this year that you probably never would have? I'm gonna go ahead and say patience. I've always known that this is something that I need to work on, but I never knew more than I know now. What do you prefer, your hometown or LA? Love my hometown, but I love LA more. So that answers that. You and Alisha's favorite thing to do together. Alisha and I can be really weird. Some things we both like, and it's rare to find one of those things. For example, both love Hamilton and we love singing at the top of our lungs.
Handsome boy, does he know it? Peach fuzz and he can't even grow it. I wanna take him far away from this place, and I turn to see my sister's face and she is helpless.
Is it annoying living with Alisha? I feel like we've talked about this before, but she can be messy and I'm not, so that can be hard sometimes. Coffee order. First of all, it depends where we're going. My favorite coffee is honestly just a black coffee in the morning. If I go to Starbucks where I can't drink black coffee, my new favorite order, get a cold brew with salted caramel foam on top. Thank me later. If you want it a little bit sweeter, you can get 2 pumps of sugar-free vanilla into it, but I honestly don't think it needs the sugar-free vanilla. It's separated, so it kind of has this like bitter sweet with every sip. Trust me, it's incredible. Do you plan on buying your own home within the next few years or renting? I definitely would love to have my own place. As long as I'm in LA and as long as Alisha and I are single, it just makes sense. I know it's weird for us to have lived together our whole lives and still choose to live together so many years later, but we genuinely get along so well. We work so well together. She constantly helps me, I constantly help her. I think there's a great situation here, and it is very expensive to rent out here in LA. I'd much rather give Alisha my rent money than, you know, someone else. Are you a Christian? Yes. How do you come from a really bad mental state to a better one? This is a great question, especially for this year. I have never struggled with more mental health issues than this year. Just staying motivated, just taking care of myself and paying attention to what my body is needing, or maybe what my spirit's needing, and taking care of that and prioritizing that over work and sometimes even over friends has been a struggle. And this is something that has been hard for me because I'm a yes girl. If anyone needs anything or wants me to come to something or be a part of a project, I always say yes, and I say yes too much. And this year I've learned that I need to have patience with myself and patience with others. I've also learned that I have an anger problem. And I'm just gonna throw that out there. I always assumed it was there somewhere, you know, but I'm such a passive person. I never thought I was that angry. I am. And I learned that this year. How do you motivate yourself to do something? And how do you motivate yourself to get out of bed? Well, a couple things. The most tangible ones is I got a fun alarm clock. It's actually right here. That little globe looking thing. It's a daylight alarm clock, and I have thoroughly loved my daylight alarm clock. It's from Amazon. I'll have it linked below. Instead of like a loud alarm sound, like a bow, bow one, I always play a soft song. I love waking up to soft music instead of ear-shattering alarm sound. It just makes me wake up peacefully. Another thing I love to do is sleep with my window drapes open. This isn't always an option. I remember when I was at my first apartment, we were on a downstairs floor, and I definitely would not recommend sleeping with your drapes open on the downstairs floor, but I personally love it. So if you have that ability, I recommend it because you wake up with the daylight as well. Any routines / things that have helped you connect with God? That's a beautiful question. I struggled with that again this year. I think all of us started quarantine and COVID thinking that, oh, I'm gonna do this every day, and oh, this part of my life is gonna thrive, and that was not the case for me at all. That was something I had to get better at, and I love now starting my mornings meditating and praying and doing my devotional and reading my Bible. I love starting my days that way. I have the best days that way. I've found that that puts me in the best mood for the rest of the day. And I think there's something beautiful about doing that first before anything else. So that's my little routine. How to not compare yourself. This is hard. I feel like it doesn't matter what I say. I'm 30 years old and I still compare myself to people. This is something that you simply have to get into the habit of talking yourself out of. As human beings, we are always going to struggle with stuff like this, and you have to learn to talk yourself down. So the second I start feeling myself comparing myself to someone else, I have to recognize that that is an unhealthy thought. I have to say, Ashley, nope. Hold on, and I have to change my thinking, because if I don't actively change my thought, then those thoughts eventually will take over. Does that make sense? Advice to your younger self. If I could say anything to my younger self, I would say, don't worry, baby girl, mom jeans will be trending soon. I grew up with skinny jeans, and that was not a look for me. A girl's got thighs. I cannot wear skinny jeans. Anyways, have you ever had a boyfriend? Yes. I've had a couple. I actually date a lot, but I have only had 2 serious relationships. I'm also a very private person, so you will probably never see a boyfriend on here unless I'm very serious about him. That's just how I prefer things. So I'll let you know though. What are your pet peeves? Gum smacking? Absolutely not. What country do you want to go to and have never been before? I've always wanted to go to Germany and do a castle tour. That is on my list. It has been on my list. I can't wait until the world opens so that I can go experience my castle tour. It's gonna happen. What would you do if YouTube is not a thing? I'm gonna be honest. I'm really decent with a camera. I think my plan B would be doing some kind of like freelance photography for engagement shoots or, you know, lifestyle stuff, or I don't fully know exactly. I can always do that. That's my solid plan B. Plan C, coffee shop. Plan D, flower shop. All my strengths right there. Have you ever struggled with self-love or self-confidence? Absolutely. I don't think any human hasn't. Self-love is something that I think takes time. I think one of the biggest things that you can do if you are not experiencing love from yourself is learning to give yourself words of affirmation, and this is something that can be learned. I think loving yourself is something that can be learned. I think it is a very cruel world out there, and it constantly wants to just tear you down, so it is so important that you learn to treat yourself kindly and to love yourself and be that foundation for yourself, because the truth is everyone's going to let you down. If you can't love yourself, it's gonna be a very rough road out there. You can't depend on people for that love. Do you want kids when you settle down? Yes, but I've always known that I was gonna have kids later. I very much wanted to live all of my 20s to the fullest. I genuinely am so excited to be a mother. That's gonna be a beautiful moment for me, but I can wait a little bit. Kids scare me kind of, so one day. Do you like Harry Potter? Of course I do. I'm a Gryffindor. I love your playlist. What are your favorite songs at the moment? That's a great question. Good Pain by Yokelore is my current favorite song. I listen to it constantly. I think it is original and so different than anything else I've ever heard. I'm a big fan. Go give them a listen. I did do a video where I showed you guys my top favorite songs and shared them with you guys and let myself get demonetized. If you haven't watched that, I'll have that linked below so you guys can check that out as well. Those are all top songs. Relationship status, very single. Dating in 2020? What is that? It's been rough. First kiss story, he was a family friend. I was 7, I think, and it was in my backyard and I kissed him. It was great. I still remember it to this day. Pure magic. Do you want any more tattoos? Yes, absolutely. I'm just a very picky person and I know what I want, and I want them all to be very meaningful, and I know people say that all the time, but I'm still trying to get a sister tattoo with Alisha. We all need to convince her. She's a little scared, and that's fine. I get that, but we need to get her on board. That's the next tattoo I want. Once that's done, then I feel like I'll just open up a little bit more and be like, sure, let's try new things, but I really want that one. Do you have a college degree? Yes. Favorite food? Right now, it's a tie, probably, between pasta and tacos. Why aren't you married still? You guys are very interested in me being single. I don't know, but I'm not mad at it. Would you do a truth or drink with Alisha? I mean, if she asked me to, yeah. This next one. Why do you and Alisha have different last names? This is a question that I have gotten my entire career on YouTube. There are middle names. We share the same last name. Marie is Alisha's middle name. Nichole is my middle name. Are you bi? No. I'm very straight. What's your go-to snack? This recently changed. I've always loved hip peas, but I just discovered the sriracha flavor. Get out of the way. Those are so good. I had to slow down because I was having a bag a day. Do you have other besties besides Taryne? Yes, I do. I mean, we can all have more than one best friend. She is the closest friend that I have. But yes, I have other best friends as well. How tall are you? I'm a solid 5'6". Actually, it's more like 5'5.5", but we round up. Would you rather choose Alisha or Taryne? That's a terrible question. Terrible question. Have you ever considered dyeing your hair? I have dyed my hair many times. I've been all the colors. Blonde looks the best. However, I really rocked this like auburny red hair. What is your biggest fear? Probably the dark or being murdered. It's probably because of all the murder podcasts I listen to. Cool. Well, that is the end of my Q&A. Thank you guys for watching and participating. Again, if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do, and you can be a part of these things too. Another video will be coming soon. Get ready, guys. Vlogmas is around the corner, and this channel is about to get very Christmassy very fast. So yeah, be sure to subscribe and like this video and hit the bell so that you don't miss out on any Vlogmas videos. It's my favorite time to be alive. So here we go. Okay. All right. I'm done. Okay, bye.